messed my mic up and everything. I put it all in the wrong place. Let's see. How does that sound? How we feeling? We good? All right, I'm gonna roll like that for a while, and you tell me if it sounds bad. Hello, friends. How are you? Let me just take a quick second. Let's see. Cool. Okay. All right. So, where are we at on things? Things are good. Things are happening. So I'm gonna quickly. All right. How's everybody doing? So give me just an if you're alive. What's happening, Helder? How you doing? So I am here. Things are happening. Forgot my phone at home, which is like probably healthy, but feels very weird because now I'm like without that it's just an odd feeling. Oh no. Hey Marissa, guess what I just realized? I don't have my phone, so I can't navigate anywhere. No, I can't get to my meeting. Because I don't have a way to call a car. The bus won't get me there fast enough. I don't know what I'm asking for. I'm pointing out a problem and asking you to solve it for me, I guess. Sorry, thank you. I love you. I'm in trouble. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about a plan for today. So I have a plan. What I want to do is I want to make progress on the site that I've been working on for a while. I've got a new version of Learn with Jason, and I'm trying to make it a little more friendly to multiple series, because that's something that I have been doing a lot of now is we're working on different series. I've got different things that I want to share, and I don't want to have to create a new website for every one of them. So I'm just kind of looking at it as how do we make this thing work for all of the series that I do. And so it's maybe going to be Learn with Jason for the long term. It might rebrand if it becomes bigger than me, and we'll just kind of have to feel it out, see how it goes. But yeah, so I guess I can start sharing my screen here. Let's do this one, and then we'll get over to this view here that I like better. Not that one. What's that? Get that out of here. This one. There we go. Okay. And then show this banner. There we go. All right, we're in business. So now we have. Let's actually get to the right window here. There we go. And so we'll do a local host. Do I still have it open? Let's find out. I do. Okay, great. So basically what I've got right now is I've got this site running, and if I go to the home page, then we have this kind of setup here. Still needs some styling, but it's kind of pulling things up, and so you can kind of see where I'm directionally headed. We've got the different shows, and then each of the shows is going to have a listing. I think this one's got the most entries in it. So you open up the show, and then you can see the episodes. And so each of these episodes, then you'll be able to open up different seasons. And then down here, if you open one of these up, you can actually watch it. So it's kind of designed to work very similarly to, if you've watched TV on like the Netflix website or the Hulu website. That's sort of the plan. And then all sorts of stuff happening over here, like dummy data and me trying to figure out how all this stuff works. And then none of these work yet, but this part works. So check this out, right? So I've got this set up where now, although that did look a little weird. Why did it jank like that? Might need to look into that. But so basically when you log in, you've got the ability to manage a subscription, and then I can see here that this didn't, oh wait. Okay, so this kind of worked, and that's good news because we'll talk a little bit more about what there's context here that I'll share here in a minute. But so you've got, who you're logged in as, what your plan level is so that you can see like whether or not you're a supporter. It shows when you created your account. If you've canceled, it shows when your plan runs out because it goes by billing period. So like if you subscribe on the 1st and then you cancel on the 20th, your subscription would remain active until the last day of the month, so the 30th or 31st in most cases. And so then down here we've got this is the clerk, management stuff. We can move this to another page. We might. We'll see how it goes. I'm not sure if I might just kind of leave it right now as like one big page. And then down here we've got a bunch of stuff that I still need to clean up. These are the buttons for how to actually create a subscription. But so let's go in here now and you can manage the subscription. This jumps you through to Stripe and it says what you've got. So this one here, it shows that one cancels on August 11th. So it'll be done on, you have your stuff through August 10th. And then let's see what else. That's kind of it, right? So we're using the Stripe. I said on the last stream that I thought the 4242 was gone. It's not gone. It's still usable. So I'm not sure. Somebody made it sound like they had retired it, but I think what happened is they added a bunch of additional test cards so that you could simulate like this is a Visa, this is an American Express, this one always gets declined, this one always goes through, so that you'd be able to sort of test the different error cases and failure cases in your system. But yeah, they kept 4242 as like it always succeeds. So that's kind of how this works, right? And so this thing here it's doing its thing, and then what's happening behind the scenes is if we go to the Stripe dashboard, and this is all test data, so I'm not going to worry too much if you can see the keys and stuff. I'll mess with that later. But so we've got these levels in here. So like this was my tester account, and so it's set up to charge $1 a day so that I could do a cancellation and check it the next day. The connoisseur has a monthly and a yearly price. Enthusiast, same thing, monthly and yearly price. And then I set up a pricing table. Doesn't this show? Oh, here it is. Okay. So then if I shrink this down a little bit, you can see that it's got all the different pieces in here. You can see what's going on. I'm not sure what they've got going on with the styling here, but this is how you would choose your subscription, and I've just hooked them all up to use these prices. And then when you edit these somewhere in here, it lets you choose the prices. So like if I wanted to do a lifetime or something, I could add that as well. And then these kind of same thing here, same thing. And if I wanted to add a fourth plan, I could. I think this one, like, and then honestly, if we take that off, you can see the daily drops off, and now we've just got monthly, yearly. So it's just kind of a nice setup. So I'm going to cancel that because I do want to be able to do the individual testing. And then here under developers, I get my events, and if I filter these, actually, I think is this Workbench? Well, either way. Then I can take the event type and I can do something like customer subscription, and we'll do one of these. And so then we've got the, subscription updated, created, et cetera, and then this one here is, I think, the one that I'm gonna be looking with today. So it says cancel at period end, true. And so then when I get down to the plan, see, but then it still says active true. Active true. Still says active. Okay, so does it take this thing? Status canceled. All right, there we go. That's more what we're after. We want the status canceled. Oh, because it's the plan is active, not like it's a right. So because you're saying the price is a valid price. It's active in the system. The plan is active in the system. The subscriber's status is here. And so then what I want to do is I need to figure out how to handle this so that when somebody cancels, this webhook gets handled. And so to do that, this is actually really, really cool. Let me see if I can remember how to do this. So Command R, and then I can do Stripe listen. How cool is that? So then we can run this Stripe listen webhook. And so now every time we run a webhook, we can monitor that. And so then it gives us, this is the test secret for monitoring those webhooks. So I already have that in my .env. And then over here, what I can do is do this Control R again, and then I'll do Stripe events, right? And then this gives me the ability here to resend any event out of the system. So this is my event here, my event ID, and then I can resend this. And because my system's running over here, what we should see is we should see the webhook fires, and then let's go see if it actually worked. It didn't, and that's, I think, where I left off. So that's where we're going to pick up here, is we're going to go to webhook. All right, and blow this up a little bit so we can see what's going on, and then I'm going to shrink this down, and I want to find my customer subscription deleted, right? So this is where we want to be working. So let's just start by making sure that it did what we want. Okay, so now whenever we run this, and again, because we can just replay this, we can just run this event again. Now we get all these details. Good, that's what I wanted. So turn that off. And then let's see if we're getting our details. So we'll have our clerk ID, our customer, our deleted product, and our deleted sub. And I just want to see if we're getting that data or if I screwed up my code. So we run that again, we come back here, and we have, all right, so here's the deleted product, so we're getting that one through, and that is the daily sub. Then in here we have our customer, clerk ID, customer ID, right? So this is the clerk user ID. And the nice thing about this is that if you look in the customer, you can also see it's in the metadata. So we've got our kind of two-way sync there. And then we have the deleted product, and then we should have our deleted sub down here. There it is. And this is the subscription, which cancel it period end, true, etc. Should, does it say status canceled? Status canceled. Good. Okay. So things are happening. Things are happening in the way that we wanted them to happen. So this is good. So then let's figure out why this isn't doing what I want. So what it should be doing is setting the customer to the customer ID, the status to the deleted sub status, and the level to the deleted product name. And if we head over into our clerk dashboard, I should be able, and again, this is all test data, so I'm going to go into my users. We're going to grab my user here, and then down in the metadata, it is working, and I didn't write code to handle this properly. Cool. Okay. No, that's good. That means it's doing the thing that we want it to do, and so now we need to add some UI. Okay, so I did about 1 million things there. What's up? What's up, Tipple? What's up, Anonymous? How goes the battle? It is indeed toasty here. It's going to be in the 90s Fahrenheit today, which is too dang hot. Don't know where my shirt ends and my tattoos begin. You know, I didn't really think through the fact that this shirt has like similar colors to my sleeve here. That's funny. The shirt is a tattoo. Not yet, although I have been noticing. So basically, I made this joke on Twitter yesterday, but everybody was talking about how good Robin Williams looks in the birdcage, right? If you haven't seen the movie, he looks amazing. Hold on, let's just pull up like Robin Williams birdcage outfits. Like, this is fashionable, right? Like, just a absolutely stellar wardrobe. So anyways, I decided this is how I'm going to dress now. And so you can kind of see where my inspiration came from here. But so I'm yeah. Anyways, but look what I found. Hold on. Look at these. See these? Oh my God, these are the most comfortable pants I've ever worn. They're like linen. Oh, they're so good. They're so good. Let's see. What's up, V-Dog? How you doing? It's working despite my best efforts. I'm gonna say a lot. Good. Thank you. I'm doing my best out here, you know. I feel like I spent the last many years as a t-shirt and jeans person, right? Like, I would only wear a black t-shirt and I had like a dark wash jean, and that was basically my everyday wear. I would like throw a hoodie on if it was cold, or I had some like nice coats when it was really cold, but it was black t-shirt and jeans. And so I felt like, you know, and my reasoning for that is because I think the uniform, which is what it was, I just bought like six to 10 of the same everything, and I would just wear them every day because then I didn't have to think about what I was wearing. And I do like that approach. Like, I think the uniform is a great thing to do, especially if you're like focused on something else, right? If whatever you're optimizing for is like high mental intensity, then yeah, don't worry about fashion or any of that stuff. But then what I noticed for me is that I'm spending so much time on camera that I don't like feeling like I only wear one thing. I don't know, like something about like seeing myself in videos and I'm always wearing the same outfit. I was like, I don't know, man. I feel like I always like the way that that other folks, you know, you'll see like Tom Hardy always has something cool on, and like Ryan Gosling's always wearing something cool, and like Seth Rogen always is wearing an interesting outfit. And I was like, you know what? I should just figure out how this works. So then I started looking into it and started trying to get a little more. I mean, I would not call myself fashionable by any stretch, but I've found a couple people that I can just shamelessly rip off, and I've been trying to do that. And it's been nice. Yeah, my jean jackets. I do love my jean jackets. But yeah, so you know, that's actually a good point that I hadn't considered. Like you if you are always wearing the same thing, it can kind of fade into the background. Interesting. I hadn't really thought about it that way. But so anyway, so that's where I ended up in this. And this is all, man, I'll tell you what, eBay is the cheat code, because I was looking around for different clothes, and I couldn't find things that were cut the way I wanted. Like, but one example is, let me just do this thing. This is going to be awkward, but okay. You see how those aren't skin tight? They don't make new linen pants that aren't skin tight. So I had to go on, these are like an LL Bean vintage wide-legged linen trouser chino, something like that. And like this is a vintage rain spooner Hawaiian shirt, because it's actually made from nice material and not like rayon. And it's the way to go, because once I know my size, and so now I can just go on eBay and say, like, give me a rain spooner vintage Hawaiian XL, and it just shows me like a list of them. And there's not very many, but that's kind of nice because it limits your choices. And then I find the one or two that I like, and I can get them, and they're like $20, like $30 after shipping. Versus if you go to a store and you get a new one, if the new one is nice, it's going to be like $200. And if it's not nice, it's going to be $20, and it's made of rayon, and it's like, it sucks and it doesn't breathe, and you know, it's going to fall apart in 3 weeks. So, anyways, eBay. Been trying to do it for a long time. Also develop various skills, like in your fashion. Oh, yet I cannot be successful. Oh, you're talking about something completely different. How can I be successful? This is like the $5 million question. So, all right, you know what? I'm already in full screen view. Let's talk about it. So, okay, I think the thing about success is that success is not a destination, right? It's not a thing that you get to and then you're done. It is a thing you do. Success is a state of being. It's a state of living. And what I mean by that is success is it's not stuff. It is putting yourself in a situation where you enjoy Success is being able to navigate into a situation where you do things that don't burn you out, that compensate you well, and that leave you with time to be a person outside of whatever that thing is, right? Like if you look at your Venn diagram of fulfillment as a human, there's, you know, what you do for work, there's who you're surrounded with, what your family situation is, your friend situation. There's whether or not you feel like you are growing as a person. There's a bunch of other things we could put in that Venn diagram, but I feel like those three are pretty representative of the big things. And you want to end up in the center of that. And the problem is that success is not something that is static. It's a moving window. And so our job is to get into that window and then make the necessary adjustments to stay there. It's like driving a car, right? Like if you can't just get on the road and take your hands off the wheel, because it'll drift, you'll whatever. You have to continually adjust your speed. You have to kind of adjust left to right to make sure that you're going in the right way. That's what success is. And I think that when you start looking at it that way, then it becomes less of, I have skills, why am I not successful? And it starts to become more of, what are the pieces I'm not paying attention to that would get me closer to that window. So a few things that are going to factor into that is if you can do all the things, if you can build, if you are, accomplished as a coder, somebody gives you a task, you can do that task, then start looking at the things that you're not doing. Do you have a network? Are you regularly meeting people who work in your industry who might know of places that have openings or opportunities? Are you sharing what you're working on to demonstrate your expertise? Are you doing things that would make you visible in any way, especially now where somebody has to dig through 1,000 resumes in a stack? What will make them pause on yours? And that can be a lot of different things. It can be a warm referral. It can be an extraordinarily well-written cover letter. It can be your body of work is so impressive that they say, we got to dig deeper into that. It can be that they've seen you speak somewhere. It could be that you met them when you went to a meetup. There are so many different things that you can control that will help you get into those situations. And the good thing about this is that it's a system that gets stronger the more you use it, right? It's a self-perpetuating cycle where getting your first industry connection is hard. Getting your second one is easier. Getting your 100th is actually almost accidental. Because if you think about it in the sense of connections, right? If you are, think about it like starting a fire. If you don't have a fire, you can start one with nothing. It's really hard. You got to get the sticks and do the thing and like create enough friction to start that fire. It's a huge amount of work. But once you've got that fire, you can make it bigger by putting more fuel on it. And you don't have to do all of that startup work again. You can just add more fuel and you get a bigger fire. And if you let it get too big, right? If a fire gets too big, then it starts to go on its own and you're not doing anything. And I think that's sort of how, when I think of network and access, that I think about it like that, because when you're first starting, it's hard work to meet somebody. Once you've got a network, people will introduce you because you're relevant, right? Something will come up and they'll think of you and they'll say your name. And then if you get really well known, then people start to put your name in conversations that you had no idea that you could have even been part of, right? And I don't think most people want to get to the wildfire level where you just kind of get thrown into things without even asking, because that's a whole different level of like skill management that you have to develop and different systems you have to put together. But I think that getting to the point where it's just a fire that you just have to tend a little bit by adding a little more fuel, that is not, it's not easy to get there, but it's easy to sustain. Like once you've got it going, keeping a professional network going is something that takes minimal tending, right? So yeah, I think that's the big thing. Is this live for real? It sure is, Altar Boy. What's going on? Guayabera sound like a luscious fruit. Okay. Thank you, Vinny, for doing the thing. Are you not a mod? I should make you a mod. Let me just do that real quick. Does that work through StreamYard? Tell me if that didn't work. Wait, are you sending? Come on. Come on. Thank you very much. I've been working hard on trying to be fashionable. I think, yeah, like launch code or go into local meetups if you have the ability to get to a conference that's nearby. There are like scholarship programs where if you don't have the means to buy a ticket, a lot of times you can apply and get a scholarship ticket so that you can attend a conference for free. There are a lot of opportunities, I think, to try to make those connections. And depending on which direction you want to go, look for events that have people who do the thing that you want to do, and then just go try to meet them, right? Like you don't need to get to successful in one step. And a lot of times the easiest way to do it is to put yourself in the vicinity of people who are doing what you want to do, and then just watch them and be friendly and be supportive and help when you can. Keep building stuff and showing it to your friends. and eventually it turns into a career. And I know that that's sort of it might feel hand wavy, but truly, I've never met anybody who continually was a good member of a community that continued to build things that didn't get where they wanted to go. It always happens. Trying to get a job in the industry after I finish my final semester. Good luck. Start making those friends now. Those connections are going to make a huge impact as you get out. Thank you, Dan. I'm now 25 years, 20 something years into my career, and that's the only thing that's been consistently true is, people that I met really early on in my career, we were both here's a good example. When I first started my career, I would go to this conference in Las Vegas because it was a cheap conference that I could afford to go to, right? It was really like $100 for me to fly there. The hotel rooms were like $100, and it could usually get my way into the event for a discounted ticket. So all in all, it cost me, $300-400 to go. And I was able to, it was like, hey, this is how I'm going to network, right? I was broke at the time. And I met this group, and they always showed up at the same events, and they were early career. We were kind of like the newbies club, but we hung out every year. That was the conference that we met at, and we'd see each other. We'd talk about what we were working on, and then years later, like a solid 10 years later, I decided I was going to look for a job, and so I reached out to my network, and one of my friends from this conference had since gone on to become a manager at IBM, and was also hiring, and so was able to get me an intro and put me in the hiring loop so that I was able to go get my job at IBM through a connection that I made, just somebody that I used to get a beer with whenever we went to a conference together, right? Those types of connections have happened to me over and over and over again throughout my career. And so the most impactful career advice that I can possibly offer is remember that everybody's careers are long, and that the connections you make today are going to be very different connections in 5 years, in 10 years, because everybody's going to grow, and everybody's going to get promoted, and everybody's going to make new friends and make new connections, and things are going to change. And who knows what that leads to, right? So just be a good friend and support your friends and watch your friends grow, and your friends they're going to extend a hand down, right? As long as you're extending a hand down when you get your promotions. Be somebody who makes the community better, and the community will make you better. I am live. What's up, Siddhant? I know everything. I don't know about that. Doing an Odin project for Refresher in JavaScript. Nice. That's, I think, finding something that you want to build and building it has been the easiest way for me to learn things. That's, I think, everything in my career has kind of been built off of I had an idea and I built it, and it wasn't very good, but I learned a thing, and then somebody wanted me to build it for real, so I got to do it professionally. Oh yeah, Civic Coding Group. That could be cool. Yep, that's a good way to get in there. But anyways, so yeah, happy to. Thanks, Hellboy. Man, I'm feeling good about this outfit today. I'm getting compliments. I love it. Thank you all very much. Thank you. So please do feel free to keep throwing questions in, but I'm going to switch back into the into coding mode here, and let's see if we can update this UI to do what I want it to do. So in my dashboard, I have all sorts of stuff going on. So I've got my subscription types. I'm going to figure out exactly how I want this to work, but right now I'm just kind of pulling it into a custom table where I have to know the prices. That's probably good enough for my use case. I've switched over to server rendering on everything, so I can get rid of that. And then I pull in Stripe. We've got our user, and that user has a Stripe subscription on it. And then down here, we pull in their list of active subscriptions, and we get what their subscription is out of the metadata. Okay. So the piece that I'm missing is, so here we're checking whether or not there's a subscriber. And what I need to figure out is how we're going to do the handling of the subscription level. Okay, so here's what I think we do. We are going to probably do a little fragment there, and then inside we can say is subscriber. And then if they are a subscriber, we're going to grab all this. All of this is going to come in here. And then if they're, what are you mad about? Oh, because then if they're not a subscriber, we need to show these other pieces here. And this is the part that I wanted to get. So we need to style this up a little bit, but we'll be able to put that in here. Okay, so then theoretically speaking, there we go. Okay, so this is better. It needs some work. And the part that I'm a little confused about, this is the part that I haven't been able to figure out yet, is how to get somebody into the pricing page. Because they have like a link for it. If I go back, here's my pricing table, right? And if I go to my pricing table, the problem is that it starts you as a new customer, and I don't know how to get past that part. So can you Stripe customer portal send customer ID? Configure the portal's features, implement a redirect. Okay. So we configure the portal, and then we get our headline, we get our features. Okay. Set a product catalog. And then you implement on your site, and that does this. And you can create a billing portal session. Okay, let's see if we can get this to run, because this would be really nice if I can make this work. Yeah, let's give it a shot here. So we're gonna go back out here, and then let's make these. So I'm going to go into, I think I have portal here, because I was planning on doing this already, and then I couldn't get it to work, and I had kind of like stopped doing stuff. But so we have our user ID. This is the portal. So this isn't going to be how that works. Leave out customer. Or no, this is the clerk user ID. So if they don't have a clerk account, then they can't sign up. Then we get them to the dashboard as a redirect. We've got their data, so we request their form data, get their customer ID. If there's not a customer ID, we bail right now, which is not ideal. But then theoretically speaking, this billing portal session create. Oh wait, billing portal configurations create. Oh, see, none of that really matters. Set a product catalog. If you're creating the customer portal only for invoicing, you don't need to set a product catalog. The portal displays the following attributes. So I'm going to need to look at this. More product catalog. Okay, so we're doing that. But then how do I get the example account? When you create a sort of contains a session short-lived URL that your customers use to access the customer portal. So you can only do one of these at a time? Open customer portal. Huh? Okay, let's try it, I guess, because we should have in the dashboard, we should be able to. So this is, yeah, this is the portal. Now, if I do this, subscription customer, what happens if I just drop this in here and then we've got our user up here? So that's our user. We're just going to roll with this because that's data that I have. And we're just going to throw that in there and we're going to go see what happens. So become a supporter, manage your subscription. If we inspect this, how do I get you down here? Close this is how I do that. So we have our customer ID. And it is, that's, okay, so that's got a Stripe customer ID. I shouldn't have a subscription. So it says renew plan. Okay, so this is a whole other issue where I need to figure out how to clear this one so that I can be a different user. What if maybe what I can do, is there a way for me to just like clear customer data in here? Because then I could dump this user. I got to assume this is the one I'm still using. Yes. Can I delete it? Cancel now. Yes, cancel now. Okay, so then what does that mean back here? Ah, see, now that did something weird. So then what's happening in here? Boop enthusiast, status canceled, right? That did all the things that we wanted. So then we're here. And now there's no account, which means what? User and Stripe sub, so it wouldn't have a Stripe sub. So instead we're looking at the subscription. Okay, now I don't have an active subscription. So when I click this button, what does it do? See, it drops you, there's nothing, right? This is the part that I'm confused about, is how do I get back to that like add a subscription thing? Because if I'm down here and I go to subscribe, it'll take me to this, right? But it won't let me see the list. Because that's what I really want, is to not have to show all of these, I'd love to get straight to that pricing page. But the pricing page, as far as I can tell, doesn't allow you to attach a customer ID to it. What's up, Naveen? How you doing? First step to growing in a community is participating in the community. 1000% yes. That's the jam. Got to go do it. Newly seeking opportunities, 1 year experience. I think honestly unknown, I would say go back about 20 minutes in the stream, because we just talked about, we just kind of ran through a bunch of ideas for how to build success in a like a sustainable long career. But the short answer is, if you have the skills, work on the connections. What's up, Jacob? How you doing? Okay. All right. So subscriptions. Invoices, pricing. Embed a price table. So I guess I could embed the price table, but I don't really want to embed. I guess I can embed it. I guess that's fine. I don't know. I kind of feel like pricing tables, configure the customer portal. But do I get add products relevant to your customers up to 4 per pricing level? Display settings. How do I get the customer ID in there? Because I have a customer ID, right? And if somebody cancels their subscription and then creates a new one, I don't want it to create a new customer. And I don't see anything about how that is handled, right? Because you put in the pricing table. I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking this and we should just try it. So let's go product catalog, pricing table, embed script, and then if we get here, maybe we just toss one of these in here. We'll see what happens. Oh, that's not ideal. So, okay, so if that's the case, then what we'll do is we'll take this out, and down here, we'll say null or drop one of those in. Oh, man, there's an auto completion that I don't understand on these files where it drops the curly braces instead of actually auto completing like you would want it to. And I don't know why, and I wish it would stop. Okay, so there's a plan. So this does kind of defeat my goal of being able to run this site without JavaScript, though. And that was well, I guess, because if you then click out to Stripe, it probably requires JavaScript, right? I don't know. Like, I want it to at least work without JavaScript, and then we can progressively enhance it to do more. And so, like, this I know works without JavaScript, because if I disable JavaScript here, and then I click through, oh, you just can't, you straight up cannot use Stripe without JavaScript. Okay, well, I don't know if I want to re-implement the entire stripe interface, so I might just, oops. I might just live with that then, because I don't know that I want to deal with like fully managing the whole flow and all the hooks and all those things. Cool. Yeah. So that's probably fine then. So then the way that I would want to do that is maybe I want to put some tabs down here. I also wish, you know, Clerk is really good at a lot of stuff, but this little weird thing I don't understand. Like the container does this weird break, but only, because now watch, if I make this right half, oh no, they're still doing it. Wait, which thing is doing this though? Well, that's my fault because of, I haven't done the mobile styles here. But then this, yeah, it's like just a little bit too wide and I can't figure out why. It just feels like the sort of thing that I don't ever want to have to think about. Let's see, this one seems like it's handled pretty well. Yeah, and I can probably go in and style those. Do I have a dead zone under here? I do. Oh no. I know what it is though. We can fix, okay, let's fix that while I'm thinking about it. And it's gonna be this part here. Isn't that the piece that needed it? Crap, am I gonna have to do a weird... Oh, that's not the right thing anyways, that's... Okay, so then that works, but then you lose all of your buttons, which means that I would need to, oops, take this down to the nav. Oh, I hate this. Let's, just do one of those, I guess. Oh, this seems bad. This seems bad. I feel like when you get into like adding and removing features from the from CSS like this is when you know you've fallen far. So now that works, that works, that works. I don't know if I like that. I feel like that's one of those things that, you know, when you make a choice and you're like, this is maybe the wrong choice. Now there's a reason that I'm doing that, and it's because you see this glass effect, how the glass kind of picks up a little bit of that image before it gets to the thing. I was actually working on a demo of this because I'm going to try to write it up because I think it's so cool. This all right, so this is what I'm talking about. So in a standard like backdrop filter here, where you, in fact, what am I doing? Let's move this back to this side so that we can actually see everything that's happening. So in a standard backdrop filter, you just set the backdrop filter to blur, and then anything that goes behind it blurs, right? And so this is fine, but there's a couple things that happen that I find really jarring. So one is, you see how every time something touches that window, it kind of like pops in? And then the same thing happens here where it like immediately fills the whole thing and it's a pop. It's very annoying. And then also, see when it hits the top, it pops again. Very annoying. So I wanted to fix that, and so I did. Right? So now it's a little more natural. It starts to pick up the colors before they hit the window. And you see how it's kind of pulling in there. All right, so this is part somebody else's work and part my own little hack. So the first part comes from Jamie Gray, is who I saw credited with this effect. And this is the tweet for it. So the way that this works is that by default, you just kind of have your container, and then you've got your backdrop filter going, and you just kind of let it rip. When you upgrade it, you have your container, and then we'll talk about that in a second because that's my hack. You then pick an amount below the thing that you want to fix. So if I set this to 0, for example, you'll see that it does the pop again, right? So let me reset that to 50. And you can see that now it's picking things up. All right. And so what this means is that we're adding this, let's do, I kind of have it upside down here. So we start by adding padding. So if I take these bits off for a second, you can see that we've kind of padded this down, like blown out the side here. And then we use a mask to set the black all the way to what our normal bottom would be, and then we get rid of the offset. So whatever this amount is that we added to the padding, we remove it using the mask with the offset, and then we just set a margin to like change the relationship. Because if we don't have this margin, then everything kind of pops out weird, and we don't want to deal with that. So we keep the margin to keep everything lined up the way we wanted, and now we get this kind of effect. But then there's the other half of it, which is this piece here, which without that, you get the nice in, but then you get weird pops at the top. See how it's doing that? I don't like that. It makes me angry. So instead, what I did is I just took a small, like a short linear gradient of white to transparent, and I stuck it up at the top, and I made it really small, like just enough so that it fades to white right before it hits the top of the window. And then I stick that to the top of the container underneath this backdrop filter. And now when things hit the top, they don't explode. So that is a little upgraded like glass effect in CSS so that you don't get the unnatural behavior. Because like if you have a piece of glass, right? If the piece of glass is here, it's bending light. That's why you get the blur in general. So something that's a little bit above it, that light is bending, right? You're getting that bent light refracted back at you in weird ways. And so it doesn't like pop in when a thing becomes behind it and then pop out when it gets past. It's sort of bending in and out on the ways in and out. So creating this sort of this effect here is just makes it feel a little bit more real, and as opposed to this where you've got these kind of flickers and pops, right? So just a little like quality of life thing, and ultimately like not too terrible to do. Let me share this so y'all can, if you want to check it out. Oh wait, I'm posting in all places. There we go. All right, so yeah, if you want to go check that out, it's there. It's on my CodePen. I got all sorts of weird stuff there, but that's why I did what I did. And so the challenge with that, of course, becomes that then you have this dead zone of whatever your space is that you can't click through. And so that is, I guess this one's doing fine. I wonder what I did differently. I did something differently in mine, and that's what we're dealing with here, is that we've got that nice flow. I don't know. It works now. I'll probably regret it. We'll deal with it later. Okay. I know you are, Jacob. Why do you think I'm talking trash about your stuff while you're here? But yeah, I think that is why this would be something that would be great to fix, is like this embedded view. I want it to just be more like container width aware, because it forces widths and blows scrolls, and that isn't ideal. Recreate Stripe from scratch. I know that Clerk kind of depends on JS, but doesn't it, when you refresh the page, does it hit the thing then too, or how exactly does that work? And it's fine either way. I wasn't intending on turning JavaScript off. I was just thinking about how do we get minimal JavaScript. Yeah, if you refresh it, updates as well. And the way that my site is built right now is it's currently just doing full refreshes between pages. My intention is to change that over to use view transitions so that you get a slightly better experience, but I'm not really stressing about it. I think it's okay. All right. So then once we get in here, we have the ability to just show this. So I think what we'll do instead then is I'm going to take all of these bits here. This is the wrong piece. We want this piece. I'm going to take all of these bits here, and I am going to just comment them out, because I don't think I want to delete them just yet, because I'm not 100% sure how this shakes out at the end of everything. But I do think I'm going to try to roll with this for now. So that gives us a basic setup where once you get into the back end, you can set things up. And so then we'd go here, we would subscribe. I was hoping it would keep my customer number. Did I lose my customer number here? Oh no, is this gonna do a thing? See, now no, but this is not okay, because now it's gonna duplicate my user. Right? Save $40 with annual billing. Oh, that's nice. So here's what I'm worried about. I'm relatively certain. Does this not take me back to the site? Ooh, I don't like that either. Okay, so this may not be doable. Because now, crap. Okay, so if we refresh the page and we come back in here, it didn't update my user, and I'm worried that that's because this customer ID doesn't match. So if we come back in here, we go to our customers, now we have a new customer, son of a biscuit. And it's a different user ID. Yeah. So that's not gonna fly. I mean, am I overthinking this and it's an edge case and who cares? But it kind of feels like it's not, right? Like it feels like the sort of thing that is important, that if you have, you know, because like people cancel and renew their subscriptions all the time. On Stripe, there's a docs page that covers limiting subscriptions to one. Okay, let's check that out. That seems useful. Limiting customers to one subscription. You can redirect customers that already have a subscription to the customer portal to manage their subscription. Redirect customers that already have an active subscription. So that part I'm already doing, because if they have an account, then we're doing that. Or the email address. So is the email, maybe the email address is doing something different in the activate the no-code customer portal. And if you send them to your website, direct them to manage their subscription on. Okay, so to do this, I go to settings, checkout, and payment links. So settings, checkout, and payment links. Limit, send them to the customer portal. That feels like what I want. Do I have to save this somewhere? Or is that like auto-saving? I think it's auto-saving. So let's try again. I'm gonna click this. You already have a subscription. Click continue to manage it. I don't know about that. Is my email out here somewhere? Hold on a second, I can't. Let me find my email. Okay, so I found that. So this brings me in, it gives me, so now I'm in, so this is kind of what I would have expected. So I can update my plan, right? So I understand this. That has you sign out instead of sending me back to the dashboard. I feel like the way I was doing this before was better. Let's try, let's unhide this bit. And so now if I come in, I click manage your subscription, I don't have one. Okay, fine, that's fine. If I subscribe, it's already hooked to this customer, right? And so then I can, whoops. Do that, does the thing. Now, okay, so now it says I'm a subscriber, and that's good. And then if I go to manage my subscription, it takes me here, and I can update my plan, and I can change it. We'll set this one. We continue. We confirm. And it's already got the credit card attached, which is good, right? And then we go back here, and it's updated. Okay, this is all good. This is doing what I want. So then we manage the subscription. We cancel. Return. Your subscription has been canceled. It will remain available until August 16th, 2024. Okay. So that all seems like it's doing what I want, right? And then if I come back in here and go to customers, can I just delete a customer? Like, is that possible? Like, I know that I can't do that in delete customer. Get out of here. Okay. So then maybe I just want to like get rid of a bunch of these. Because you and you. Yeah, these are all tests that I did that I want gone because I don't want the duplicate emails. So we'll delete all of those. And then, oh, those are other people's emails that did test stuff, so I'm gonna. All right. So then, in this customer, I have my automatic thing, and I should be able to cancel now. That should fire off the webhook. That webhook should update this customer. Now I need to become a supporter. Where's that happening? Stripe webhook 123. Did I manage to break my metadata? How does one see metadata? Oh, I want to click through metadata. Here, it's right here, dude. Unhandled event, yeah, that's fine. Oh, I think it's doing something with the customer deleted. But it shouldn't be doing any of that. Is it trying to find this outside of the handler? Like, what would you be? Oh, you know what I bet it's doing? I bet it's running like running a webhook to get rid of active subscriptions from deleted customers, which that's okay, that's fine. I would expect that. And those customers weren't set up properly because that was before I had the webhook. So theoretically, that's okay. So I think then that maybe means if I go in here, I'm hooked up to this customer. Okay, let's try this one more time. I am subscribed. I am hooked up to my same account. And when I go back out here and I refresh, I have an active. Okay, so I don't love that it has 9 million buttons, but I might just need to live with that because I don't really know a better, I don't know, I don't really know a better way to do it. Yeah, based on email address, and it does look like it's doing that. So maybe that, I don't know, maybe that makes it better. Thank you, Petit Pois. Petit Pois. Stop aiming for perfection. How dare you? Yeah, I think this is going to be fine. We're going to live with this. And actually, what's up, Michael? How you doing? You know what we should try now that we've got the button turned on? Let's try this one more time using the customer ID here. And let's see if it works. Yeah, let's see what happens one more time here. So I'm going to back into my, I guess I can just cancel it here. We'll cancel. Right, yeah, thank you. Go back here. It says it's going to be canceled. I'm going to refresh. And then we'll cancel it now. Yes. This didn't explode. I'm happy about that. Okay, so now, if I click this button, it has my customer ID attached, but I still can't do the thing. Okay, so then, if I come down here and I do this thing, this is gonna create a new account. Watch. And it doesn't redirect to my page. Yeah, so then we end up with, in our list of customers, there's a duplicate customer, so get rid of that customer. Okay, so the pricing table is not going to work for me, as far as I can tell, because it seems to be hooked to a single customer. Wait, what was that? Did you just, like, not delete yourself? I said get out. Are you not deleted? You are deleted. Whatever, dude. Come on. Okay. So then that did its thing. All right. Okay. So that's better. It's fine. We'll live with this. It's going to be okay. I can't do the pricing table. That's not going to fly. And we're gonna ship this and be okay with it. And that is totally okay. Okay, but first, before we do anything, I'm going to step to the restroom before I start having to do the pee dance. So I'll be right back. Okay, let's jump back into this. Good question. Do I have checkout session ID and customer email set up in my Stripe config in the checkout and payment link settings? Great question. Let's go look. Do I have checkout session ID and customer email set up in my Stripe config in the checkout and payment link settings? Pricing table won't work for detecting an existing customer. Well, so this is the part that I think is maybe just at odds with what I'm trying to do, which is that it's if you don't have an active subscription, you're not a customer. And so that's the part that I'm trying to figure out is how adaptive pricing. Can you do that? Seems like a cool idea. But yeah, I don't. All right, what do you got? Checkout limit subscriptions. Okay, so I already had that one there. Provide checkout session ID and customer email in the URL to populate them when the customers redirect to your website. So I think this, so this is with active subscriptions, although I do think example website, session ID. So we'd have to figure out the session ID, but the customer email, and the email would just auto-populate them. You know what? I think Charles is right. I should just call this good enough because like I can fix this later, but if I don't get this going, I'm going to end up never shipping this website, and I really need to ship this website. If I hit this button, that sucks. It doesn't do that one doesn't give you the yearly option. Stripe, you're so close. Like, this is so close to being exactly what I want, and we're just missing like a couple tiny little things that would solve this for me. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. We're gonna just live with this, and maybe what I do is, do we want to like pricing table this? I don't really want to pricing table this at all. It's actually like the last thing that I want to do. So we can dump the tester because we're not going to use that one. What are you doing? Be less irritating. So I probably want you get dropped out. Account details go there. I guess I could just make a button that like takes you to your clerk account, and then I don't have to worry about their CSS either. That could be an easy way to solve this problem because like that's going to irritate me. And maybe that's something to do with this actually, You know what? I wonder if it's my bug. Because it seems fine here, although it is too wide still. Like this should be the edge. Oh, maybe not. I don't know. Okay. One problem at a time. So we're gonna just give some... Why are you mad? What is even happening in here? Like, something has gone absolutely haywire with my setup here. I don't know why. Do that later. I do wish my... wish my auto formatting would kick back in. Like, I'm not sure what... Something has upset... Something has upset this, and I don't know what it is. So I'm just going to ignore it and hope it goes away. That's going to be fine. It's all fine. And then... What are you even mad about? Stripe sub is possibly undefined. Okay. Like that should never happen, but at least you're not yelling at me anymore. Did that turn my... Nope, still broken. So, okay, cool. We're gonna... Might want to reconsider offering a yearly option. Monthly keeps charge fresh in the sub's mind. Yearly, they may forget and then get hit with an unknown charge at the end of the year. Oh, that's a good point. You know, and honestly, that makes my life easier. So if I just drop those out for now, we can take the yearly options out. And suddenly, this is a much easier thing to style because it's just the two things. You know what? That is good enough to start. So we're gonna let's do put you on the left, put you on the right, and let's style this thing up. So in here we've got our become a supporter. We're gonna call this sub levels, and then down here somewhere we can do the sub levels, and we'll say the H2 is gonna have a margin block start of 2 rem and a margin. Actually, why don't we just Are they H3s? Sure were. Okay, and then what do we have happening in here? Okay, so the button's got a big thing on it. Let's add a description in here because I should probably tell people why they're subscribing. And we can say, show your support, get early access to new videos, and directly fund the creation of new. Okay. And maybe for now we just use the same one in both places. Those in there. Okay, so those are going to be Font size will be like a 0.875, I think. Oh, that got even bigger when I did that. What am I doing with this? Let's do text align left. That seems all right. And then maybe here we'll do a 0.5 rem. That seems good. And then am I wrapping these in a... Currently not. So we're going to say div class equals sublevel. And drop that in there. And it's not going to auto format. And that's going to make me sad, but I can fix it. So then down, what are you mad about now? What? What do you want? Cannot find name div. I don't believe you. Okay, so then we have our sub-level. In fact, just be like that, and then we can do a maybe like a padding of 0.5 rem. Maybe we want to set a border of 1 pic solid, and I've got a it's a gray 600, I think. Those are kind of doing a thing. Do I need this? I don't think I need this. I think I can just leave it. That's fine. And then what happens? This might be enough, right? Like maybe this is okay for now. Maybe this is even smaller. That's kind of getting me where I want to go, I think. And maybe we let this one go back to its normal size though. Okay, something like that. Something like that feels okay. And then now this part is a little goofy, but okay. So then we can start thinking about what these are going to look like. And I feel like these are going to need container queries. Probably. Because I'm going to want this text to get a little smaller. Thanks, Dan. What's up? I'm Wutba. Okay, so then we got all these pieces. Once we jump in, we have the episodes themselves. Have I zoomed this in? Ah, that's why everything seems so dang big. Okay, this looks significantly less out of control. I was like, why does everything look huge? Okay. This is better. This is looking more like what I want it to look like. And then we've got our pieces here. These are looking okay. We jump into one of these. These are looking okay. Jump in here. That's looking closer. Maybe. Let's maybe fix this just a tad. Block size. Okay, so I don't know that that's actually the size we want it to be. Maybe what we want instead is set that to auto, and we'll set the aspect ratio to 16 by 9. That looks a little better. And then when I make this bigger, what happens? Then it kind of blows everything out. Do I want to give this a max height? Is that the right choice? Maybe I need a max width, because I imagine on a really big monitor this probably looks silly. I am using a split keyboard. This is the Moonlander. Let's see if I can actually tilt this thing toward the. It's one of these. It's got all these buttons that, you know, I sometimes use. It also weighs like 900 pounds because I got the platform for it, which is nice. It doesn't slide around my my desk very much, but it is very heavy. It's not I originally got it because I wanted it to be portable. It is not portable. This is a tremendously complicated thing to move. All right, how are we looking here? We're looking good. We got it is about an hour and a half in, a little over, and we've been able to get this this profile piece working. And so now when and let's just okay, so we got the pieces. Let's run through. So I'm going to. Oh, you know what I don't have is a log out button. That's all right. I have the ability to fake a log out button. All right. We should style that, huh? Sign in, clerk sign in. Let's get this. And then what is it? CL root box. It'll be margin inline auto. That's not it. There's the body. Oh no, it is. I gotta make it global. That's right, because we're in Astro, and by default it'll localize these, which is not what we're doing in this case. So then we get one of those, and in fact, what we want is probably for rem, and then we can probably zero it out on the bottom. Okay, so that looks a little bit nicer. Why don't we copy this? Because I'm pretty sure I also have a sign up page, which is going to need the same treatment. And if we go to that sign up page, now it looks nice. Okay, so refreshing, I can unlock with a passkey, which is like the dopest thing. Oh no, I didn't set this one up with a passkey. Are you sure I didn't? Well, you know what? It's fine. I'm gonna log in with GitHub. And then, so okay, so we've come to the site. We've decided that we want to be signed in to give us. Eventually, we'll get extra features. I want to do playlists and stuff like that. We'll get there. So I'm logged in. I decide I'm going to manage my profile. I want to become a supporter. So I click the button. Takes me out here. All right, we're hooked in. We've got 42, 42, 42, 42, 42, 42, 42, 42. And then we do one of these, do one of these, and we do one of these. We sign up. Now we're back. We are a Boop enthusiast. We have all of our plans. This broke, and that sucks. Why did that break? Down here, Stripe sub, supporter since. Oh. Is that doing like an order of operations thing? Yes, it was. Okay. I kind of hate that. I don't like that at all. We shall ignore that for now. And I'll pay for it later. So then we got we're set up here, we're watching videos, we really like it, we decide we want to upgrade, and so we come out here, we update the plan, we hit this button, we hit continue, it says confirm, it updates the amount. We go back to the site, we are now a boop connoisseur, good, okay, and then we decide, you know what, I'm sick of this dude. So we cancel the plan. And then we come back here and it says your subscription's been canceled. And when it finally does cancel, it will drop us out and bring us back to thing, which we can simulate by going into our customers here. And I can cancel now. And then it asked me to become a supporter again. Okay, so a lot of stuff that I need to do in terms of making it clear that like you can upgrade your account or like why you would get one of these versus the other, but the flow works. So we've got those pieces there, and then we have the ability to do things such as, see, this passkey does work. I know it works. You lying liar. Anyways, so I mean, that's kind of the thing, right? Like that did everything that I wanted to do, which means that our site is functionally far from complete, but functionally it is there. We're almost done. I feel pretty good about that. Yes, there will be dark mode. What I'm going to do is set up the light dark so it's just reactive to the system. I don't know if I'll set an actual toggle. It might just be reactive to, like, if your system is in dark mode, we'll show you dark mode. If it's in light mode, we'll show you light mode. The actual style for that is going to look something like this. Right, so that's more or less what it'll look like once I get around to doing the light dark toggle. Yeah, I have a passkey, and I don't know it might be because it's a localhost thing, and for whatever reason it doesn't want to use it. But either way, everything is fine. Passkeys are like dope though, like dope. Am I building my personal site? Sort of. Like, so this is like my business site, right? Because my personal site is this one. And that also needs to be updated, like badly. Well, I guess not. It doesn't need to be. Nothing ever needs to be done, right? Like all this stuff is just for fun. But this is I enjoyed making this. This was a very fun project, but it's also many years old at this point. And I have wanted to kind of take a new crack at it and do something else. I don't know that it'll change too much, but I kind of want to get like a better homepage and stuff. And then I have this, what's it called? Oops. I have this thing, like I made a little link tree. And this I really enjoy because it's hooked up to like Netlify has edge functions, and so I can pull the numbers of things, which is really fun. And not really an important thing, but it's fun to do. Then I have Learn with Jason, and Learn with Jason is my business, right? So this right now, if you look at the site, is set up very heavily around this is why I might need to rebrand. because there's Learn with Jason the business, which is like what I bill people as and stuff. And then there's Learn with Jason the series. And so Learn with Jason the series is where I pair program with people on Thursdays for 90 minutes. We've done we're about to cross 400 with it probably this year. Yes, definitely this year. We'll cross 400 episodes, and I've worked with, just so many cool people have come on to teach us things on this show. The challenge that I've had is that I also have stuff like the Web Dev Challenge, which is a new series, and also buckle up, everybody, because there's a new episode dropping tomorrow. But this series here is brand new to me, right? And it's also, I think, the one that is maybe the most important, if that makes sense, like in terms of strength for personal fulfillment, business, et cetera, et cetera. It's the one that is kind of like ticking the most boxes for me. But this one, and then I have another one that is called, let's go to playlists here. We also have Web Lunch. And so Web Lunch is an interview series that I run where I talk to folks from around the community, and we dig into their careers and like how to be a happy person and how to find success when success isn't like a checkbox, right? And then I have other series like this Do It Anyway series, which was a limited personal challenge that I did to make a video every day it was 10 business days across 2 weeks. And each of those, I don't want it to just disappear into like YouTube's UI. I think that's a silly thing to do. But at the same time, I don't have anywhere to put it, right? I don't want to have to build a Web Dev Challenge website and a Web Lunch website and all these other things. So I would like an easier way to list things. And so what I've been doing now that I don't love is they're like showing up on my blog. And that's fine, but it feels bad. It doesn't feel great. So you end up with something like this, which is okay, right? Like I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with this approach. But when the live stream has this whole UI built out around it and like a schedule and like what's coming up, to have everything else relegated to the blog feels weird. And I don't know. And so in my mind, what I'm really kind of trying to get at is I want to get into this world where we've got a list of series and you can go in and, you watch a series. No, don't do that. I do not want to get a takedown. I want the series info. How do I get that? So you get in and then you can like see what you can watch and you can find, more like this and all those sorts of things. That's what I really want to get into, right? So to do that, I just have to kind of keep, that's where this redesign is coming from and what the motivation is trying to make these feel more first class. And then when you drop into one, you get a full experience for that series. And you can drop through like this one is going to have all the way back to 2018. We'll have episodes. And so you'll be able to kind of go back through the years and check different things out. And then, these, if I ever do another one, there'll be, maybe I'll do it again, like as a fun little challenge for myself, or not. Maybe I never do it again and it's a one-off, whatever you would call it, limited series. And then like Web Dev Challenge is almost certainly going to have a season 2, and Web Lunch, I'm actively working toward a season 2. So things are happening, right? Sounds like you need yet another site. Yeah, exactly, right? So what I did get off of a recommendation from the chat, and I wish I could remember who gave, I forgot and I didn't write it down and I'm sorry, but somebody gave me the idea for rootaccess.tv. And so I own that domain, and I think that's a very fun domain for a website about like developer shows. But yeah. Do I think it's redundant to create a site with YouTube videos? So, no, but for very specific reasons. So there's like three key motivations here. The first is I don't want to be completely reliant on YouTube for my livelihood, because there's, I don't think I do anything that would get me in trouble with YouTube. I would say I'm a pretty safe bet as far as that goes. But I've also just seen enough weird, like somebody goes all in on a platform and that platform makes a change that suddenly makes it non-viable for that person to continue using that platform. Either they get banned or I don't know, a policy change that they can't get on board with or something, right? And then all of a sudden they've lost their entire audience and have to go rebuild it on a new platform. So avoiding handing the full keys of my business over to another platform is kind of like thing one. And because of that, that's actually why these are, if you look at this one, this is on Mux. So I'm hosting this video. It will also be on YouTube, and YouTube I'm looking at as a distribution platform, not as the like final hosting platform. So that's thing one, is owning my content in a way that somebody can't like DMCA take down and YouTube mutes my whole video for no reason because somebody complained, right? And obviously, like if I do something wrong, I should be, but like it's sort of like the mass reporting thing. Somebody doesn't like what's in a video, and so they get all their friends to go report it, and then it gets taken down, and then you have to go through the appeal process. And in the meantime, you're not making videos because you're dealing with lawyers. Just a bunch of silly stuff like that, right? And I want to be a little more resilient to changing platforms, because right now people are posting to TikTok and Instagram and YouTube and LinkedIn and Twitter, and who knows which of those is still going to be the right target here in another 6 months or 6 years. And I intend to do this for a long time. So resilience is really important to me, being able to evolve with the platforms and still kind of remain relevant. Thing two is I want people to be subscribed through this platform for several reasons. First, right now there are a lot of different places you can subscribe to Learn with Jason. You can subscribe on YouTube, on Twitch, on GitHub, on Discord. There might even be a couple others. And each of those is like super highly appreciated and also very limited to the platform that it's on. So if you subscribe on Discord, you get Discord perks. If you subscribe on YouTube, you get YouTube perks. There's no way for me to sync a YouTube subscriber or a YouTube paid member to the Twitch paid members. So then it means that like you would have to subscribe on multiple platforms if you wanted to get all the benefits, and it's hard to track. And then I'm listing subscribers as supporters in video credits. And so then I'm like, at first I was like deduplicating them, trying to figure out who was, because a couple of you, and thank you very much for this, are subscribed in multiple places. And that means so much to me. But so I was trying to figure out like, oh, so this is, oh yeah, like, you're subscribed in multiple places. So thank you for that. But let me dedupe in the list so that it doesn't look like there's 3 people with your name. But then I also can't do things like make a video available on my site a week ahead of its public release to subscribers only. I can do that on YouTube, but then Twitch and Discord and GitHub and any other subscribers are left out. But if I do it on my site and I'm hosting the asset, then I can make anything I want subscriber only, and all the subscribers get it. And I'm pretty sure this would be a V2 sort of thing, but I'm pretty sure I can even pull in subscriptions from YouTube and Twitch and so on and so forth, so that I'm able to, even if you didn't want to subscribe through my platform, I should be able to still grant those permissions. And I can do things like when I've got my Stripe subscriptions, I can set up a webhook to update your Discord account if you have one, so that you've got the sub badge and all those things. So like I can provide more on more platforms if I control the subscription, because then I can sort of send things around. The other like business side of that is it just costs less. to have a subscription through Stripe than through YouTube or Twitch or Discord, because they charge about 50% of the subscription cost, which means that less of the money that you're spending to support me actually goes to producing more videos. It goes to the platforms, YouTube and Twitch and Discord, which is fine. They're running businesses. That's how they operate. But in my mind, what I'm hoping for is that I would love to be able to make stuff that is only viewer supported. And to get there, there's just more, every penny counts when you get to that game, because like each episode of something that I'm producing is costing somewhere between like $10,000 and $30,000, right? So to get to subscriber supported stuff, if 50% of every subscription is going to YouTube, it just means that we have to have so many more people willing to support. Whereas if 25 cents plus 3% or something is what that's not right, but so in that ballpark, it's less than $1 of the average subscription will go to Stripe as processing fees, and the rest goes straight into the production fund. Then we get there faster, and we're able to do more as a community without me needing to go get subscribers. So if we want to make a silly show that wouldn't make sense to subscribe, like I would love to make some game shows and stuff that are just play and they don't have any reasonable sponsor tie-in. Like how do we make our own version of Hot Ones? How do we make our own version of like Taskmaster shows that are intentionally silly? We don't do that unless we kind of support it from, like, I can take profits from other shows and reinvest them, and then it's going to be stuff like if y'all want to see it and you put up a few bucks, I make that pile and we turn it into a new show. Right, that's kind of the goal. That's the hope, and I don't want to have to do Kickstarter, so I'm hoping it can turn into a small, like everybody throws in a few bucks, and that turns into a big enough pile that we can go and make really fun stuff. So, what's up, learner? Yeah, the DMCA scanners, exactly, right? Because like people just come after it for no reason, which is why I do stuff that is I do. Like Licked is great, or Epidemic Sound, like things where you basically pay for licenses and then your channel gets explicitly registered between YouTube and the provider, so that you have a license to use that music. Because then when they check, they go, oh yeah, here's the license for that music, instead of saying like, oh, does anybody have a license? Oh, you DMCA takedown scammer, you're claiming that it's yours? Okay, well, I guess if you're claiming it, right? Where do I host my videos? I currently, you find just about everything on YouTube. I am moving toward Mux for website hosted stuff. And Mux is great. If you haven't tried it, you should check it out. We're actually going to have an episode that's coming up that I believe is going to be, here we go. Yeah, Darius is coming on from the Mux team in a little over a week. And he's going to help me with this new build, in fact, where we are going to figure out how to, we're going to do auth base. So like you have to be logged in to see a video. And we're even going to look into what DRM means. Because I hear people talk about DRM. And I remember DRM from the Napster days where it was like everybody hated it. It was awful. I don't actually know what it is. Like I know what it does, right? But I don't know how it works. And so Mux has a version of DRM that you can opt into if you want to. And we're going to learn what it is and like why you might or might not want to use it, depending on what your thing is that you're selling. So if you have any interest in having videos that you wanted to do subscriber only content, that's what we're going to be looking at doing. And that's how the Learn with Jason site is going to work, is videos that are subs only will be behind login for typically about a week before they go public, so that people who want to watch stuff early can jump in there and see that. So that's kind of what we're working toward. But yeah, Mux is dope. If you haven't tried it, you should give it a shot. It's very, very cool. I too would love a dev style Taskmaster, like so much. What platform do I earn the most as of right now? I mean, they all pay about the same, so there's no need to change. When I get this launched, I'll probably do a big push to try to convince people to switch over to the Learn with Jason one. But yeah, it's really kind of up to you, because I'm gonna do my best to provide benefits no matter what. Yeah, so the license, if you use like Epidemic Sound and stuff, you register your channel with them, and then when license challenges happen, I think they auto clear them, and that's sort of the whole thing. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, digital rights management. Sorry, that's an acronym that I have said so many times that I forgot. Yeah, so I looked into Patreon and a couple of the others, and ultimately where I landed is I I don't do I don't have enough time to like manage something like that. And so the thing that I like about Patreon is that it just sort of does all this stuff for you. But the downside is that it sort of puts you into this, you have another platform that you have to create for. And I know that I could just set the expectation that that's not what I am doing, and you're just going to Patreon. You're just going to Patreon to like be a supporter, and you're not going to get anything through Patreon for it. But it felt, I don't know, and then like they do charge higher fees, and it just felt and then I also like, my long-term vision for this stuff is that this account through Learn with Jason actually gives you control of things. Like I'm trying to get the Rive team, which is like an interactive animation company, I'm trying to get them to come on and teach me how to do interactive animations based on API data, because I want to bring back overlays, right? And I would love to make it so that there are like user gated overlays, because some of the stuff that we do, like we used to do stuff on the stream, that on the overlays, and it was so chaotic and it was so fun, but as the group got bigger, there were people who would just kind of like drive by and make a bunch of noise and then they would leave. And so by putting it behind a user account, it allows things like rate limiting in a way that feels reasonable. And if things get too noisy, I can turn on like only users can participate, or even only like subs can participate in like making noise. And that kind of stuff I would love to do through this one central account. So like you can support the channel, you can interact with the channel, you get your access to Discord and so on and so forth through this subscription, so that you're able to kind of have an all-in-one spot for it. And that'll also be like the way that the newsletter gets managed, because as I'm adding more of these series, you might want to hear about the Web Dev Challenge, but you don't want me to email you about Learn with Jason episodes, or vice versa, right? Or you want to hear about everything, right? So I feel like I'm going to start needing more complexity in the way that I manage things. And instead of spreading that across lots and lots of platforms, I'd like to have it on a single dashboard, so that you, as like anytime that you're interacting with me, if there's something that you want to do, you can go to this page and that's where it's going to be. That's the goal, right? And so adding yet another platform with Patreon felt like doing the opposite of what my long-term goal is, because it was like spreading further out. But yeah, the deep integrations, like that's kind of the whole thing. Yeah, dude, this Rive stuff is so cool. I'm so excited to learn about it every time I see it. Where's Rive app? Rive app, yeah. Okay, let me put the screen back up. How do you just like? I just want a showcase of like what cool things people have done. Discover what other Rive creators are working on. Yeah, like, how do we? What if I just want to see it though? That's just a brick. How can I make it do it? Hold on. So this is why I need somebody to teach me this, because I quite literally don't understand how this works. Preview. look at. Previewing. I don't know how to actually do it. Yeah. Anyways, so it's easier actually if I look at the Twitter Rive app, because then they show me videos of what people have done, and I don't have to know how to click those buttons. But that's why I like desperately need somebody to come teach me, because I want to do it so bad and I cannot figure it out. Look at this stuff. Like, you can do these cool loading states. That's all done in Rive. You can do like that is done in Rive, and I think you can make that all. What? Yeah, look at that. It's all interactive. Like, you click buttons to do different things, get those things to go different places. This is very, 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 very cool. Right? Look at that. Look at that dope thing. Anyways, I love all this stuff, and I want to do so much more of it. And somewhere in here, I don't know where, somebody did like overlays for their stream that were powered by Rive. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find these. I'm probably not. Anyways, you can dig through here and find it. It's cool stuff. Very, very worth checking it out. Linked up mouth movements? Dang, that's really, really cool. Talking about Draws Good. Yeah, I tried to get Draws Good to come teach, and I did not have luck. Another really good account for finding lots of cool things. Like, look at that. It's cool. It's too cool. Okay, here's a link to Draws Good account. You invested in WebGL R3F? Oh, interesting. That's cool. But yeah, anyways, Rive is dope. I'm hopefully going to have them on the show here soon-ish. Where are we here? So, let's see. What can we reasonably do in about 40 minutes? Perhaps we can do the mobile version of this menu. Maybe. Maybe we can. Okay. So here's what I think I want to try. Let's try getting this to. Can I use the platform for this? So we have all these new features coming into CSS, and I should see if I can do it. Let's go to CodePen, because somebody's got this. I bet Yuna's got one of these. Pure CSS hamburger menu. How do I just find a person on here? There. Okay. No, not pens. That's not what I wanted. All pens. Because I feel like this is where... All right, so this is kind of a... This is kind of what I'm thinking about, because that's pure CSS. Anchor demos. Submenu. This is what I want. Yeah, see? See? Look at that. No JavaScript. This just works. Okay, this is what I want to do. I want it to just work. Is this, what does this use? It's pop over target stuff. Using the popover API. This is baseline, so I can just use this. Also, have y'all been paying attention to this? The fact that you can just check to see whether or not something is available in all browsers by looking at the baseline thing. I love it. It's so nice. It makes me very happy. Okay, so we can use that part. Now let's look in here and see what else is being used. Position anchor. Limited availability, no Firefox, no Safari. So that's probably an issue. Might not, well, actually, hold on. Is she using it for, that's for the submenu though, and I don't need one of those. So popover API. Baseline is really nice. It's so good. So that's popover API. That's really nice. Here's position anchor. That's also going to be really nice once it lands. Have they... Does not work in some of the most widely used browsers. But... Yeah, so the anchor stuff, not quite there. Position try? That's... What? What? I gotta snoop on Yuna's CodePen more often. That looks like this is all hooked into the anchor stuff. That is cool. Yep, yep, yep. Okay. Then we've got all these pieces, and then this is just layout stuff. So this is pretty, this feels like this might be the right way to do it. How is this marked up? So we've got our button. We've got our nav. And then where's our submenu here? So there's our storefront, and you have to click button. And the menu's inside the button? Whoa. That seems weird. What's up, Spartan? How you doing? Okay, but I do like that it's kind of got the, it stays open, and then when you click away, it clears, and none of that is being, like, managed. That's just how the platform works now, which is really nice. So then, for me to do this, what would I need? I would need... what? Need like a hidden button, and then this would be the popover target, and on smaller viewports this would go vertical, right? So that would kind of go vertical. I probably need to make this smaller. All right, let's start clearing stuff out here, and then we'll go and mess with all that. I want to, first and foremost, let's get into the default layout. And here's our header. So we will okay, so here's how that works now, and what I think we will do is maybe we do a media... Actually, can I just make this smarter? Maybe we do a max of... Oh wait, that's the wrong one that I would want. Is that not working, or am I doing something else? So here is our logo, SVG, and that is being computed how? Because I got it backwards, is why. Maybe we can do it about like that. Okay, and then with this, we would want, I want the aspect ratio, so my aspect ratio would be, what was it, 82 divided by 259. That's a 0.3, that's a 0.3166. Did I do that backwards? I did do that backwards. Okay, so that's that. Let me get at, sorry, hold on, my phone is exploding and I don't know. Yes, everything is fine. Okay, good. All right, so that does what I want, basically. And then we can start dealing with this bit, this nav bit here. Okay, so here's what I want to do first. Is I want to, oh, I've made a mess. Well, I haven't made a mess, but I've got, this is going to be complicated. Because we're probably going to have to clean up this grid area for how's it going to work? For mobile, I probably have to change the grid. And if I do that, what happens? Maybe we do a media min width, and we'll say 1080 and start there. Drop this in here and we'll see what happens. And then what I'm going to do is actually just change this to be nav. Okay, so immediately that gets better, but it's still not correct. And to fix that, I need to set up as display flex. What if I this is going to be chaos. What if I just flex wrap? kind of plays, right? What's up, Josh? What's up, Stony? Vinny? You're all right, I guess. Okay. So this sucks, but maybe it doesn't have to. So let's look at media min width. I should probably figure out how to organize this a little bit better, but we can, maybe we grab these, drop them in here, and then this one I want to be max content. This one can stay there, and then maybe we up the gap size, and then maybe we also justify content center, and then down here we will justify content start. Okay, this is gross. I like this gap better. Perhaps what we need to do then is, nope, that was backwards. That feels a little bit better. And let's make this padding more. Okay. Okay, so that's almost good. The challenge, unfortunately, is going to be when we take this and we do the iPhone, it just eats a lot of screen space, and I don't love that. And then we need to fix our account thing as well. Yeah, because that's a mess. Because I hate that. Like, I hate that with my entire being. So, okay, let's see if we can figure out what it should look like. So if we take an artboard, we go with a mobile. Let's get the small iPhone. And then I take this bit here. Where are you coming from? Here. And then we drop that up at the top, right? And so then we've got kind of our general setup, make that a little smaller, and then we would have our this piece here specifically, but inside of it, I want this gone and, nope, that was the wrong button, this gone. And I want instead to have like a hamburger menu thing. So the way we'll do that is we'll just set this to be, let's call it 24, and then we'll drop this one to 6 maybe. Okay, and then we'll just set 3 of those. That should be about right. We'll make them all 26 so that it's square. All right, take all these, and then we're going to round them off. drop it in the middle. Oh wait, got to group them first so that they are an icon. Drop them in the middle, and we get a thing. So this then, I guess that part doesn't matter. This is the part that matters. And by matters, I guess that's not what I meant at all. Something like that, and then maybe something like this, so that we end up with what appears to be a reasonable setup here. So let's, all right. So then that ends up being our nav. And actually, maybe we don't even have to oversimplify like that. Maybe we can keep this. And we can pull this. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whole thing comes over. Right? Then we bump this back up to something that feels correct, maybe like a 12. And then we shrink this thing down to actually be a reasonable size. Maybe we do stretch, maybe it does stretch out. Like, I don't know, maybe. Right, that seems okay. We're okay with that. So we end up something like that. And then when you actually click this to open it, what should happen is probably it opens up like this, and you get this whole bit, I think, comes in. No. That part will be there. This will be, we'll set it to be like this. No, not that. Well, that is absolutely incorrect. Maybe this one? Something like that. And then we would need all of our words. So those come in here. And maybe what we do is I don't understand what's happening. That's a very odd behavior that we're getting here. Oh, they're all like shooting off to this. Wait, where did you just go? Okay, can we get you to focus, please? So center that up. We'd give it like maybe 145%. Man, maybe even more. Something like that, and suddenly we got what appears to be a workable nav. I think. Posture check, good call. Okay, yeah, so something like that then I think maybe works, and maybe we flip these around. Why don't I actually take this, and and we'll do an auto layout. And right? Like these feel okay. And we'll have it hug. That one stays fixed with. This I think feels okay. Like I'm reasonably happy with this. And I think something like this feels like it works because then you tap this, this appears, close this. It goes away. You know what you're getting into. You can get to all the pieces that you need to get to. We'd probably get rid of the Command K on a mobile viewport. There are like a bunch of spaces after this. Okay. Okay. I think that is fine. So then to code this, I have to rearrange a little bit. And I guess the tricky part is I don't currently have, my grid is set up right now with like 2 stacked. You can see the grid here. So these two, you know, I'm gonna try a thing real. How quickly can I do the thing? I don't know how quickly I can do it, so I'm not gonna derail. But basically, this gives me so there's 2 to the left. Those are stacked. I use them both for the logo. And then we've got 1 top right for profile, 1 bottom right for nav. So we would need to like smash those 2 into 1. And then we don't really need grid anymore. We're back into flex. We'd have a hidden button. And then the button would be visible on smaller screens, and the nav would be hidden, but it would be the popover target. And then when you do the popover thingy, right, okay. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So we can make that work. So, this nav is going to get all messed up. Because it's just going to end up being like that. And then up here, we end up with a div class nav group, maybe. And then nav group, yeah, that gets all busted. Nav group takes this bit. And the account, oh, that would go up. You would no longer have a grid area. Nav group would become display flex with a flex direction of column and a gap of 1 rem. It's too much. How much is my gap? 0.5. Okay, so that gets us back to where we were, and then if we kind of dig into this, we can see now we've got the 2 bits, and then underneath we've got our nav group, and that's split again. And so then the next piece would be we want the nav toggle, and that's going to be min width, or no, media, min width 1080 pixels, is going to be display none, but it will start visible, and then we'll figure that out. Okay, so then that means down here we have in the nav group, in here, I think we're going to say button, and that's going to have a class of nav toggle. And for now, we're just going to get this to lay out right. So there's our button, and that's doing the thing. Okay, I'm happy with that. So then once we get the button in there, and it disappears at 1080 and just works, and that is exactly what we're after. So then the next thing is that we would need, how do we do, let's go back here. So nav ID, so then we say popover. How wild is this gonna get for me? Let's find out. So we do popover and it kind of disappears. It's still there in a weird way. And then the menu, that's anchoring. We're not going to worry about that. Pop over target. They're not like display none or anything. Pop over open, display grid. Are they display none otherwise? Border none. Cursor pointer. Okay. Not 100% sure I understand how this is hidden to start, because it's not. So let's just let it rip and see what happens here. And so we're going to say popover, and the targeting for it was popover open. And nav toggle, nav group. Is that doing anything? Nav group, popover. Oh, did I set the popover target yet? Nope. I guess we need to do one of those. I'm doing something wrong. Pop over target. Ah, no dash. Okay, so that's still not doing the thing. But is it not doing the thing? That's the nav group. What are my errors? That's not related. So, am I missing a piece here? Button, right? So it's got the popover target of menu. This has an ID of menu and the popover. And then all of this stuff, these are standard styles. They don't have anything to do with what else is going on there. And these are different targets. This is anchoring stuff. Yeah, so there's nothing yet that looks like it would obviously be why this isn't working. So, got our popover. Did I fork this? Well, that's not the button I meant to push, but here we are, I guess. Okay. So we have our button. It has a popover target of menu and an ID. Does it need an ID? That feels like that would be silly, but if I can't think of anything else, we can try that. I'm just gonna, did I typo this? Let's copy paste. No. Then we have an ID of menu. And a popover. And then that's it. And this one, when it gets clicked, does the thing. And ours does nothing. Or it might be doing something and the styles aren't doing what I expect them to. No, because they wouldn't be hidden behind there. Does my header have an overflow hidden or something on it? No. There's no overflow hidden. Is it popover open? Did I get that part wrong? Popover open. Maybe it has to be the ID. Oh my God, y'all. If you recall, mere moments ago, earlier in this stream, when I disabled pointer events, and then I said, this will be fine. This won't bite me in the ass. It didn't even take a day. Didn't even take an hour for that to bite me in the ass. Good. 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 This is fine. This is all fine. Oh, it did exactly. It was like, and this is the worst thing is like, you know, it doesn't matter if you know that it's bad if you still do it anyways. Like, God damn it. All right. Okay. Well, I mean, the good news is this got us a little bit closer. I think let's give it another couple of minutes here and we'll figure out where this should live. Because I think what I want is, this is here's position relative. Maybe what we can do is position absolute, and then we'll do inset. We can do 100%, 0, 0. Does that work? No, that didn't do what I wanted. 100 pixels. So that's better. Right, and then so then we'll have to kind of style it up to do the thing, but like that seems doable. And this is all CSS. We don't have any JavaScript in here. So I'm kind of happy about that. And then later when the anchor stuff works, I think we could set the header to be the anchor and like set the drop down to be like right under it. But so then the next piece that I need to do here is rearrange these. So we'll just flip the order here. I think we can just even flex direction. Yep. Then we can justify content center, and we can set nav down here. Nav, we'll do flex direction column again. Yes. And then we can let's go with inline size of 100K, and then let's go with align items center as well. Why aren't you aligned though? Oh, I know why. Okay, then we need like our padding to be, let's say 2 rem. Good. We want the border to be none. can set the background. Background can be gray 400. We'll make that like 60% maybe. Okay, and then we can do a back. I guess that would live up here, wouldn't it? Backdrop filter of blur, and we'll set that to 2 rem. Okay, and then in here we can set the background to none. We can set the backdrop filter to none. We can set the border to none. Box shadow to none. And look at us go. I mean, it's not perfect, but I'm not mad at it. How do I get you to stop doing that? So I will need to figure out how to position that a little bit better, because that feels messy, but like I think that's okay. Like I'm not mad at this. This is fine. And then if you click through to your mobile, oh wait, does it not work? There. That works. Clerk stuff works. If you actually click through to support, that should work. Let's just do it. Saw that people were speedrunning this, and I don't know how somebody did it in like 4 seconds, and I don't know how. So certainly, I mean, I think that might be workable. I think I might be okay with that. I'll probably need to think about it a little bit more. I mean, maybe actually, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do menu popover open. Instead of setting the inset at, where was it? Nav group inset. So let's set this at, can I don't know if there's a way to get this size, because that's kind of what I want. But I think what I might do is, let's just go with like 20 dVB, and then we'll say block size is 80 dVB. And that way we should get, yeah, it's like full coverage. And take it even further here. Let's go 15. A little more. Let's go 12. Okay, so that's what I like on mobile. Don't love it there. So I need it to be adaptive to the height of the header, is what I'm learning. And that's okay. I can figure out a way to do that. But not today, because we are out of time. I'm pretty happy with this, though. Like, we got further than I expected us to. And then when we come back out, we lose... Ah, crap. Okay. This whole bit here needs to be media min width 1080, I think is what we decided. Let me drop all that in here. And that all breaks down. So this should all be fine. What are you, like, this is only when the popover is open, and the popover is not open. So all of those styles should not be applying. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but I gotta be done for today. Is it just like, here's all that stuff, right? So if we take all of this out, it does not fix that problem, which is fascinating. So is it this? That gets us closer. But it should be the grid area nav. So what's causing the issue? If we go up in here, you're the home link, you're the nav toggle, and you're here. Logo account nav. Yeah, that's what we decided. Something like that. Okay, I broke something. So I need to probably just revert some things and figure out what just happened. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Cool. All right, y'all. I got to call this one done. Thank you all so much for hanging out. It is, as always, a pleasure. And I guess next time we'll figure out how I track down this CSS bug. All right, y'all. Thanks so much for hanging out. We'll see you next time.